Assalamu alaikum Nazreen. Welcome to another edition of the Warriors channel's continuing coverage of the World Cup, Cricket World Cup 2023. और आज हमारे साथ एक खास मेहमान है. She is her career has revolved around sports marketing, and she is been very actively following cricket for quite some time. In fact, she was watching the game with me in 2019, a game that we will try to preview with her today and get her comments. तो मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि हमारे साथ आज आयशा अलीम स्टूडियो में शामिल है. तो वेलकम आयशा.
Thank you, Deebhai. It's super excited to be here and looking forward to our chat.
यस. और क्या कैसा लग रहा है? व्हाट आर द इनिशियल काइंड ऑफ रिएक्शंस और क्या कमेंट्स अभी तक? What's your feel about this World Cup? This is a totally different World Cup from 2019.
It's a different one, particularly is बार तो you're watching it over TV as opposed to actually being there on ground and enjoying the vibe and the cricket generally, the celebration of the sport itself, which is so near and dear to all of our hearts. But interesting लग रहा है, strong teams हैं. It's gonna be the let's see के क्या होता है. I was when I was जब पहला match start हुआ with England and New Zealand, that was such a just like season khatam hota and then there's a continuation. So sort of felt like that, with the final in 2019 and then, this
Hmm.
game there. So it was brought back a lot of memories and, very
Yeah.
nostalgic feeling tea. But
जी.
yes, I'm looking forward and the big games on the weekend. I know not just India, Pakistan, but I think all over the world, people are going to be super excited to tune in and see how that sort of
Yeah.
pans out. So
Yeah, and that's
excited.
very interesting. Your last match in 2019 was the final, and then the first match in 2023 was the same game, and that's very interesting, isn't it?
Absolutely. And what a final it was, right?
हाँ,
Like, and what
बिल्कुल
a
बहुत
time. I
बढ़िया.
think उसमें, दो तीन और tournaments भी चल रहे थे. So like जो sports
हम्म.
fanatics थे, I remember they were like juggling between ये देखे इसका final, कौन सा tennis का final, like what should we like focus our
Yeah.
energies on?
हम्म.
What a wonderful match it was, and इसलिए it's going to be interesting to see कि अब इस tournament में क्या
Yeah,
होता
yeah.
है.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, it's initial first week. कुछ मैचेस मत काफी सारी टीमों ने स्टार्ट तो ले लिया है, अपने मैचेस कर लिए हैं. एनीथिंग पर्टिकुलर दैट स्टैंड्स आउट? कोई एक दो ऐसी चीजें आपको ऐसी लगी हैं जो कि स्टैंड आउट करती हैं, पर्टिकुलरली यू आर एक्साइटेड अबाउट इन दिस वर्ल्ड कप as compared to other World Cups?
I think more than excited, I think what is going to be interesting is and मतलब India as it is, एक तो they're ranking number one,
Mm-hmm.
ODI
Yeah,
for their
yeah,
good solid form, right?
yeah.
And second, it's they have the home country advantage. They're familiar
Mm-hmm.
with the ground, so I really
Mm-hmm.
want to see वो कैसे pan out होता है. But then you have really strong other teams as well, right? After was
Yeah.
England, and then you have a few dark horses as well. Australia is in good form, but let's see whether it's
Mm.
going to be like a hit or a miss there. But
Yeah.
then there are a lot of other teams. So Abhi, what I'm looking for is मुझे भी, and I'll be completely honest, I didn't feel that excitement because
Mm-hmm.
अभी कोई तरह का नहीं आया, where you're
Wow.
like,
Yeah.
but a close match है. So I'm waiting for that excitement still, but it's too early, in
Yeah.
the tournament.
बिल्कुल. बिल्कुल.
Quite
बिल्कुल.
more games there. So I'm looking forward to किस तरह से
Yeah.
होता है. And Asia Cup was great. अभी खत्म हुआ है.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that was, again, like we've just been blessed, specifically COVID ke baad, particularly getting to enjoy cricket again.
ठीक.
Last year, Adibhai, last year, yeah, all of these tournaments being specifically based in Dubai, we were lucky because sare tournaments, IPL happened last year in Dubai, so I got a
Yeah.
chance to like watch all of those matches. Isse pehle Asia Cup happened in Dubai as well, so we got to like, so वो हमने बहुत enjoy किया. So I think एक जो change आ रहा है वो also
Yeah.
to get that mindset shift है ना कि stadium में नहीं हम होंगे, but we're watching it, so we're missing out on that vibe, but
सही.
still regardless of that enjoying the game
ठीक.
quite a bit.
So one thing I know that I know you travel a lot. आप बहुत ज़्यादा सफ़र करती हैं for work, and इस वर्ल्ड कप में एक चीज जो डिफरेंट है फ्रॉम प्रीवियस वर्ल्ड कप्स, आई मीन particularly England, distances are quite far away, venues are far, and India being a big country, तो ट्रैवलिंग काफी ज्यादा होगी, उसका इफेक्ट होगा, प्लेयर्स को फटीग भी होगी, दे नीड टू पैक अप एंड गो और गेट रेडी, और शॉर्ट इंटरवल्स में आपको खेलना है, एक एक मैच कहीं है, एक मैच कहीं है, ऊपर नीचे, तो उसका आपको कैसा लगता है कि क्या क्या सिचुएशन होगी? डू यू थिंक दैट्स गोइंग टू प्ले अ पार्ट?
I think like professional athletes, I'm sure कि ये चीजें because कितने अरसे से तो they're planning the venue, okay, everything was decided, right? So this was in a way something that comes in the preparation phase. So
हम्म
while yes, on the day off you can definitely say कि कोई impact हो सकता है, but half of the thing is I think psychologically they'll be prepared, and of course they'll have their coaches and their mentors getting them prepared for that beforehand, right? But more than that, I think कहीं भी मैच होता था, एंड 2019 का एग्जांपल ले ले, कोई भी टूर्नामेंट होता था, कोई भी कुछ होता था, बिकॉज ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ इंडिया जनरली वो स्टेडियम के अंदर मैक्सिमम अटेंडेंस होती थी इंडियन फैंस की. आई थिंक दैट मोर देन द डिस्टेंस पार्ट, stadium and the fans are super energetic and super passionate as opposed to थोड़े से और हर country का अपना style होता है वो, how that is going to play out, that would be interesting to see, because home ground advantage, uh we all know that that's
yeah
very very, because after 2019
yeah
ka example with England winning,
yeah
then you go back to 2015, आप 2015 का एग्जांपल ले लें जहाँ ऑस्ट्रेलिया, देन 2011 में इंडिया गेम वन,
yeah yeah सही
so sorry
yeah
2016 and 2011 India, so वो थोड़ा सा I think that might be something that the teams will have to
yeah
be more
yeah
prepared for.
Yeah, interestingly, India no venues for खेलनी, but they're playing at home. You're right. So they might be more prepared for that. Acha, any particular? I'm going to ask you specific, best players in a bit. Like, in कोई ऐसा player you're thinking about that will star or shine in this World Cup? It could be anyone from any squad. Uh, Anyone you're thinking about?
I genuinely think and I think ये काफी favorite में भी आता है, but and I think मेरा अपना ख्याल है कि batsman he could potentially be player of the tournament. Shubman Gill, like he's done he has a lot of potential,
Yeah.
young and energetic है, और हमने पुराने tournaments में भी देखा है, right? Whether
Mm-hmm.
not even talking about global stage पे World Cup के, but
Mm-hmm.
we've seen different tournaments. हमारा अपना plan, I want to talk a little bit about being Pakistani, of course, proud of our players and how well they performed
Yeah.
in different. Shaheen Afridi has done so well. जब उसने अपनी innings
Yeah.
start की, it was basically PSL where he shined, right? And then
Yeah.
उधर से
Yeah. Yeah.
at the very start. So
Yeah.
these some of the new players, with the right platform,
Mm-hmm.
they're familiar with the pitch. Khali home ground advantage, not in terms of the audience, but they know, they're familiar कि कैसे उस पे करना है, play करना है. So that could also be like a huge one. I think he's going to be
It's going to be.
definitely
Yeah.
someone towards in
Okay.
the in.
Right. Now comes my favorite part. I need to ask you certain picks.
All
So
right.
the four semi-finalists, in your opinion, for this World Cup, कौन से होंगे?
Okay. Let's so
I don't want any explanations. You can just pick any four.
no, I have four. Four. I will tell you from my my little understanding of this sport.
Yeah.
But I did have to start off by saying I would have really wanted, as a diehard fan of the Pakistani team, for them to be one of the finalists. But that's more of an emotional response. Do I actually think? I hope they do this. They end up surprising, but जो अभी उनका फॉर्म है, there's going to be a huge disadvantage playing there as well again.
Mm-hmm.
मेरा ख्याल है कि they might struggle a bit. So
अच्छा.
they're not in my, ये मेरा, I hope I'm wrong, ये मेरा अपना ख्याल है, so I don't think they're going to be in the top four.
Okay.
My number one is going to be India for all the reasons we've
Yeah, yeah.
discussed. Their home
That's fine.
advantage, their players.
Yeah.
I actually think for me, my number two is South Africa,
अच्छा.
and that's a bit dark horse है वो, and
Yeah.
उनकी थोड़ी सी performance itni strong nahi, but why I think that they could surprise really well in the tournament is they don't have the उन पे burden of expectation नहीं है. That's एक तो वो खत्म हो गई चीज.
जी.
Although yes, with the loss of Onric, I think वो भी एक थोड़ा disadvantage है, but they have in the past also demonstrated different situations that have risen up to the occasion. So I think there could be an interesting one.
जी.
Number three for me is going to be England.
Yep.
Last year's winners, they're in
Yeah, yeah.
strong form.
Last time.
Solid, and then the fourth one is Australia.
Okay.
So these four, मुझे मेरे ख्याल में, I think the final is going to be India and England.
Okay. That's fine. You've gone one ahead by predicting the final. Lekin, who's your best batsman pick for this World Cup?
I think batsman pick again. This is not. I'm not gonna. In Charo mein se I wanted to pick, but I think I don't wanna again. I say I think Bumrah is in good form. He could be doing really really well. मैं विराट कोहली को I wouldn't. I think he's again a hit or a miss.
Yeah.
Or he has too many expectations
Uh-huh.
on his shoulders. So I really don't think. I hope he does well, but I don't think he's going to be shining as much as
So
everyone is
who is
predicting.
it going to be?
I think Bumrah is going to be. I think he's going to be doing well.
But that's in the bowler category. In the batsman?
Yeah, in the bowler category. Sorry, you meant I think
Batsman.
then batsman. So I think bowler may I have him and I have Yadav, just
Yeah.
because of also his
You have to pick
performance.
one though, out of those.
I'll go with, if I just have to pick one, I think bowler of the tournament would definitely Yadav has a
Yeah.
stronger bowl, but Bumrah
Okay.
is going to be in good form.
That's fine.
And I think batsman of the
Batsman?
tournament, I would go with Shubman Gill.
That's fine.
That's going to be.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So I've got all your picks. और बहुत मजा आ रहा. Thank you very much for joining us at the Warriors channel, and it was very interesting to have your take on how this World Cup is as compared to others, and your picks for the best teams and the best players. तो बहुत अच्छा लगा आप आई, और इंशाल्लाह आपके साथ in touch रहूँगा for this continuation and the latter part of this World Cup. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me here. Just wanted to say this is fantastic. The way you're covering the World Cup, I think it just gives like खास तौर पे जो reviews होते हैं after the match. So fantastic work, and thank you for inviting me. I look forward to having this chat soon.
Thank you.
Again.
Okay,
Take
जी.
care.
अपना ख्याल रखिएगा.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.